You got the boys with the toys in the making noise? Today, I'm going to create a Muppet-style puppet of me as a Grouch. This is the plan. The first thing I had to decide is what color fur I was going to have. And I'm going to go with gray because I got a peppery kind of gray thing going on here right now. Funny thing, I got it over there. And I got the eyebrow over there too. Some of you may know this, that Oscar is not really green. He's orange.
Beautiful.
He was originally orange in the first, I believe it was the first 6 episodes of season 1.
I'm going through all my trash, just throwing it around and looking at it.
But the issue was, back in those days, they were filming on the 3 tube cameras. There's a blue tube, a green tube, and a red tube. It works like a color TV. And he was kind of an orange and magenta. The colors in person looked amazing, but on video, it didn't really work.
Ah, you again. Why are you always hanging around here?
Because the original Sesame Street was filmed on video, the skits were on video, and then some of the segments of the puppets, the stop motion was film. It was an interesting concept, not only dedicated for children, but were actually featured skits shot on film and on video. Another interesting little thing about that show, they did that for cost efficiency, obviously. The puppeteer, they knew that they had to change him to color because it was just kind of coming out. The eyes were actually changing color because the cameras couldn't handle that hue. So they devised a storyline that he went on vacation to Swamp Muddy Mushy.
Swamp Mushy Muddy, Swamp Mushy Muddy. For a more pleasant spot, a Grouch could never wish.
And there he got all green and dirty and grimy. And the thing is, why he stayed green is he, in the storyline, in theory, he just never took in a bath since then. So he's still got this swamp mushy muddy stuff all over him.
Okay, get the green swamp water, Fluffy!
And it's gotten to be moldy and gross over the years, and that's why it deteriorated his fur and all that stuff. So that was their clever storyline writing, how they were able to change this orange monster into the classic green that we know and love. And of course, he has changed over the years. The eyebrows have changed size. The neck got longer and shorter. In the 80s, he had the kind of wildly crazy bushy hair like this, which I'm a big fan of. That's the Oscar the Grouch monster that I know. Nowadays, Eli something took over the part. Eric something, I don't know, I could, 1 second. But the new Oscar the Grouch, okay, they got his hair kind of matted down. I don't think they actually physically changed the size of the eyes, but the fact that his hair is now more closer to his head, it makes his eyes look bigger. It looks almost more football-y, and like it looks a little bit more like the other monsters, as opposed to being all scraggly and gross and moldy and disgusting and dirty, like he was throughout the 80s into the early 90s. That's the look I'm going to go for. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to plan out my props here. Alright, I'm going to start now actually constructing. This is what you probably want to see. The mouth I'm going to make a foam board base. I'm going to reassure it though, double it up. And Oscar is a lot of mouth. When he says scram, his mouth is huge. His mouth literally goes from like one side of his head to the other. And his head is supposedly 12 inches wide, or one foot wide, however you want to look at that. So I'm going to make my mouth almost that size. This is pretty much the width of his head. So we're going to probably do this. We're going to give it maybe, I'm making like 11 inches. I'll get this 1 second. I'm going to take this half and mirror in this half. Doesn't need to be symmetrical, but, you know, might as well. There. He'll be symmetrical, even though he doesn't need to be. I'm going to prep all the pieces, and then I'll show you what I have after, because it'll be a lot faster than showing you all the whole process. Alright, I'm gonna go on record here being completely honest. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work. I know how to make it work, I know what I need to do, but I don't have a set plan, so I'm just gonna jump right into it, because that's how I roll. Bam! I'm gonna reassure this is the though. Aha! Oh, balls! Oh, that's a special kind of stupid. Alright, I think I finally have it. Wire hanger, ridge set in double duct tape. And we'll slide into place. Oh my gosh, thank you. I went wicked difficult, but I did screw it up. Alright, mark this here. This is gonna make it stronger. Yes. Alright, eyeballs. A little too tight. Damn. Alright, got to carefully put a hole here and here through the plastic and through this wood and then wire them together. The trick is going to be getting a hole in this plastic right here. It's one of the things I should have done before I put it on, but the thing is I couldn't put it on there because it wasn't secure. The irony of it all. This is what we're dealing with right now. We have the hole cut in here, hole cut here, and hole cut here. I kind of wish I didn't do that. I had an initial plan of actually having this slider right here, which actually caused a lot of resistance, but it won't cause any resistance if it's at the bottom. So I have a hole here and hole here, hole here. The trick is I'm gonna get this stick wired, this hole and that hole and that hole and that hole. It'll slide back and forth. That's the plan. It makes sense to me. I'm just gonna do it and then show you after. Let's go with that. I don't know, I'm gonna do this. Okay. That was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, but the most impressive thing about it not being as difficult as I thought it would be is that it works. Left and right eyes. I'm going to lock this in place a little bit more with a couple of tongue depressors and some hot glue and duct tape as this slides back and forth. And the front of the eyes will move. Okay, we're still looking at the inside of the head. We have the tongue depressor eye, we have the brow. The front's going to look like this, and we're going to make the eyes get angry. So it's going to be like that. I just put some temporary dots of black duct tape just so you can see what I'm talking about, how the eyes move. And this is going to go up and down. In just 1 minute. I'm going to take a tongue depressor, I'm going to cut it in half and make a duct tape hinge so it'll flap like a V, and that's actually going to be the eyebrow that's going to be controlled by a cable that's going to be hidden in all the fur. I think this is actually going to work. It freaks me out saying that, but I think this is going to work. Alright, this is a perfect example of why we don't go with the first idea. This is the eyebrow and the flesh mechanism of it. I protect the person from here to here, folded in duct tape, but then I realized that it's not wide enough to cover the top eye, so I doubled it up and that became this, which would work, but